call some basics definition for representation theory of GLN module. So GLN is the collection of all invertible n cross n matrices, and a representation of GLN is a map phi from G to some another general linear group. It's a group homomorphism, and when we call it a polynomial representation, if the image of A say matrix phi A, and if phi A each entries are polynomial in the elements of matrix A, so that we call the polynomial representation. So here is a two example, GL2 to GL1, that is the determinant representation, and this is the another non-trivial, it's a sim2 representation, sim representation. And let's talk about the irreducible representation of GLN. So irreducible representations are indexed by integer partition with at most n parts. So say integer lambda is lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n. So here is some example. If lambda is 1 and all other parts are 0, then v lambdas are defining representation. If lambda is all component is 1, then v lambda is c, it's a determinant representation. And if k elements are 1 and others are 0, then it's a wedge k, and similarly it's a sim. Let's talk about just character. So characters, for defining a character, you take a diagonal matrix of GLN. So if you have a representation GLN to GLB, so characters are defining from diagonal matrices. It's a map from diagonal matrix to some C. And what is this map? You take a represent image of H and take a trace of that. So that is called the character. And if you represent a diagonal matrix, you can take x1, x2, xn in the diagonal form. Then the trace will be symmetric polynomial in this xi's. And if you take a lambda is equal to this partition, then the trace will be, that character will be the Schur polynomial. And we have a nice way to represent a Schur polynomial, so called so let's talk about the semi standard Young tableau. For a fixed n and partition lambda, semi standard Young tableau is the filling of Young diagram of shape lambda by two rules. So what is the rule? First rule is entries along each rows are weakly increasing, and entries along each column is strictly increasing. So for example, if you take n equal to 3, if you take n equal to 3, then and lambda equal to 2 1, so this is the Young diagram. The first row is 2 box and second row is 1 box, and you fix then you fill entries from 1 to 3 such that these two rules are satisfied. So these are the 8 possible, these are the 8 possible entries of Young tableau. And of calculating the Schur polynomial, you just for each tableau you take a you see the numbers, what are the numbers are filling, you take that many variables here, that variable here, like 1 is 2 times, so x1 power 2, 2 is 1 time, so just x2 once, like that. You corresponding to each tableau uh, you can get a monomial and sum this all monomial, that is the Schur polynomial, and it will be the symmetric. So in general, if you have any semi-standard Young tableau, so you can define a weight of that tableau xt, that is the product of all xp, where p is the entries of tableau, p is the entries of tableau. And okay, so and then Schur polynomial s lambda is just the summation of x power t, where t is the all semi-standard Young tableau of shape lambda. And now I would like to define a reading word of tableau. So what is the reading word of tableau? If you have a tableau, like for example mu is 6431 and this is the one tableau of shape mu, so reading word is the, you have to read from bottom to top and left to right. So for example, the reading word of this tableau is 4334 223411 1 and 223. So this is called this the reading word of a tableau. And when we call a word is a dominant, if we scan a word from right to left, if we scan a word from right to left, and suppose at any point, if number of I is anything from 1 to n, number of I is always bigger than or equal to I plus 1 at any point in this word, so that type word is called the dominant word. So for example, you can see this word is the dominant, this word is the dominant. If you take a w dash here, so this word you can see it's not dominant, because if you see that the 3 here increasing, 3 up to here it's coming up to 3 times, and 2 here only the 2 times, so this word is not dominant. And uh, in the collection of all semi-standard Young tableau of shape lambda fixed shape, there exists a unique tableau T whose reading word is the dominant, and that type of tableau we denote T lambda naught. And reading word of that tableau is, you can see that first it will occur n, that is lambda n times, then n minus 1, lambda n minus 1 times, like that. So what is when you call a tableau is a lambda dominant, suppose you have a tableau of shape mu and you want to check that is the lambda dominant tableau or not, so you have to concatenate a reading word of T, the tableau of shape mu, and after that the reading word of that this unique tableau, the dominant tableau of shape lambda. And as a whole, this word you read, you see that this total word is the dominant or not. So you call it that tableau is the lambda dominant tableau of shape mu. And let's talk about the Little coefficient. Take a lambda mu is the partition with at most n part, and take a tensor product of irreducible representation corresponding to that. So it will be totally decomposable, and it will decompose like this. Suppose v nu, and then the Little coefficient is the number of time v nu appears in this tensor product. That is called the Little coefficient. And there is a nice way to count this Little coefficient. There are so many ways, so I have written just one way. So you take all semi-standard Young tableau of shape mu, which are lambda dominant, and the weight lambda plus weight of that tableau is equal to nu. So weight of a tableau means that is the just that is the composition, like T1, T2, Tn, where Ti is the number of times I appears in T. So for example, if you take lambda mu is both are 2 1 partition and nu is 3 to 1, then if you calculate Little coefficient corresponding to that, it will be 2. And here is the corresponding these two tableaus, which are lambda dominant. Okay. And now I'd like to define what is the W refined Little coefficient. So let W is a permutation in Sn. Okay, symmetric group Sn. So we define a demeasure tableau of shape mu corresponding to W. So what is this? We collect all tableau of shape mu such that the permutation associated to this tableau is less than or equal to W. So there is a, for corresponding to each tableau you can associate a permutation. So here I have just written quick some one example way how to calculate the permutation. So there is other nice way also, but this is the like simplest way to understand in my mind. So suppose there is a tableau, this 1 1 2 3 and 2 2 3 and 3 4. So start with the first row, first column. So write all these entries like one. So see what is the maximum entries in this tableau. So like here it's a 4. So this permutation associated to T will be in type of S4. And certainly it's a embed in the higher terms also, like it will be in S5, S6 also. But it will be in S4. So I have to just, so I'm writing this one line notation permutation. So what is the first permutation? Just first you have to just write in this order 1, 2, 3, and remaining entries you have to put for the first column. So it's like 1 2 3 4. So it's just identity permutation. For second permutation, you have to see the second column. So you see entry 1 2 4. So you put 1 2 4, and if there is a remaining entry, you can just put here. So if there is just one, so no choice, you have to put there. So like here it's a 3. So now permutation is 1 2 4 3, and this will be the bigger than this because of rule of semi-standard Young tableau filling. And now next permutation, you see this column, so it's a 2 and 3, so you put 2 3, but next you have two choice. So you have to fix where you to put 4 and where to put 1. So that will depend on the previous permutation. You have to put a entry such that it will be the minimal, but it should be the bigger than this. So if you put here 1, it will be not the minimal of this, because you arrange the increasing order these three terms and increasing order these three terms. So this will be the less. So you have to put the entries which will be the minimal but bigger than this. So that will appear 4 here. The next is only one choice 1. Similarly here the last one is 3, and next you have to put fill 3 element depending on this. So you can just see that you have to put 2 4 1. So the last element, the last one you get, that is so after this getting all last element, that is called the permutation associated to that tableau. So like here permutation associated to that tableau is 3 2 4 1. So that permutation I have take here. So take all semi-standard Young tableau whose permutation associated to that tableau is less than or equal to W. So that is the de Maistre tableau of shape mu corresponding to W. So it is also like equivalent, the same as the uh, key of tableau. So by key of a tableau, you can also associate a permutation that is given by Laskus and Susenberger. And Will is also given some another method to calculate that scanning method that is called.
Mirgendra, what order you are talking about here? This on the
It's a Bruja order. It's a Bruja order. So this is the permutation, and this is also permutation. All everything is written in one line notation, and this is the Bruja order.
Sorry to interrupt, but then I don't see how 2341 is unique. If I have 2314, it has two inversions, and it would still be greater than 1243. So I don't see how 2341 is unique.
Which one? 2341.
Yeah, how is that unique? If I do 2314, that has two inversions, which is still more than uh,
If you put 231, okay. So yeah, so 2314. So you
yeah.
are saying that 2314 is bigger than 1243.
Oh no, oh, not the number of inversions. You mean Bruja order. You mean,
Yeah, Bruja order. It's not number. So it's a permutation in Bruja order. This permutation should be less than or equal to this permutation
and you're
in
saying
Bruja
that's
order.
unique? Uh,
Yeah, that will be the unique. That is proved by Devdhar.
I see.
So I
Okay.
have not put it. So that will be the unique. It's a Devdhar lemma. Okay, shall I move? Okay, so that is the say dem mu w. And now the what is the refined utilization coefficient? You have to take all tableau in this dem mu w, that is the de Maistre crystal you have associated. So all tableau in that which are lambda dominant, and similar like a utilization coefficient, lambda plus weight of t is new. So that is obviously will be the subset. This set will be the subset of previous one, that utilization coefficient. So that we call it the refined utilization coefficient. And here in notation just put W because it should depend on the W. So here is some one example. If you just our running example, lambda mu is 2 1 and nu is 3 2 1. So if you see that C lambda mu nu 3 1 2 is 1, and C lambda mu nu is 2 3 1 is 1. But utilization coefficient C lambda mu nu that was 2. Okay. So here is some basic properties. Obviously, if you put lambda that W equal to W naught, the highest largest element of this symmetry group, it will be the, it will match to the litigation coefficient. And if you take identity, then that will be the Kronecker coefficient, that is the delta lambda plus mu nu. Okay. And if sigma, if you take a two permutation, sigma less than or equal to w, it's all thing is, this is in Bruch order, then the corresponding litigation coefficient preserve the order. And here is the fourth one. So in you know that the in litigation coefficient, I switch lambda and mu, the coefficients is not changing, the same thing here, it will be little twist. So c lambda mu nu of w is equal to c mu lambda of nu, here you have to put w inverse. So this refined litigation coefficient also have a representation theoretic meaning like litigation coefficient. So what is that? So let W is a permutation of Sn and lambda mu two partition. So there is a so-called defined so-called that submodule, GLN submodule of a tensor product V lambda V nu, that we call it a constant Kumar module, that is denoted by K lambda W mu. It will be the generated by V lambda tensor VW mu, where V lambda is the highest weight element in V lambda, and VW mu is the non-zero weight vector in V mu of weight W mu. So you take that uh, submodule, and this will also decompose, and decomposition given by Joseph, Anthony Joseph. And this decomposition, in this decomposition, the number of time V nu appears, that is exactly equal to the refined litigation coefficient. Okay. So let's state the what is the saturation conjecture. This is a theorem, so it's been proved by Knudsen and Tao. So what is this? So let lambda mu nu be partition with at most n parts, and if there exists k bigger than or equal to 1 integer, such that c k lambda k mu k nu is positive, this implies that c lambda mu nu also positive. So we ask the same type of saturation for uh, W refined, this refined utilization coefficient. So what we found, if you take lambda mu nu be a partition with at most n parts and fix a permutation W in Sn, and if that permutation is 3-1-2 avoiding or 2-3-1 avoiding, okay, so this is the special form of permutation. Then if there exists a k bigger than or equal to 1, such that c k lambda k mu kw of this w is bigger than 0, then c lambda mu nu w will be bigger than 0. So I will slowly build the proof of this, just sketch of the proof of this our saturation conjecture. So this is totally means depend on this Knudsen and Tao proof. We adopt this proof and we prove this. This will also work for W equal to 3-1-2 avoiding and 2-3-1 avoiding permutation. So if you take W equal to W naught, so it's obviously 3-1-2 avoiding and 2-3-1 avoiding. Okay, so what is the what is the when permutation is called the 3-1-2 avoiding? W is the permutation. If W, if you say W contains 3-1-2, if there exist three numbers I less than j less than k, such that W of j is less than W of k and less than W of I. So if this type of relation occurs, so you say that W contains 3-1-2. So what is the 3-1-2 avoiding? If W does not contains any 3-1-2, that is called 3-1-2 avoiding. So for example, if you see this permutation, if all is written in one line notation, so 5, 6, 2, 3, 1, 4. So you see here 6, 2, 1. So this elements creating problem, that is the like 3-1-2. So it contains 3-1-2. One more other, you can say that 6, 3, 4. This is also like 3-1-2. And if you see this permutation 3, 2, 4, 5, 1, this is the 3-1-2 avoiding permutation. Okay, so here is one small result. If W is 3-1-2 avoiding, then W inverse is 2-3-1 avoiding. So that's how you can conclude the second. If you prove for 3-1-2, it will be automatically proof for 2-3-1. because of rule of inverse. If you switch lambda and mu, then you have to put inverse. Okay, so I will just talk about some GT. What is the Gelfand settling pattern? GT model for the semi-standard Young tableau. So if mu is a partition, so GT pattern of shape mu is the triangular array. So triangular array is appears in the right side. So where bottom row is labeled by this partition mu. So suppose here n equal to 5, so mu1 to mu5, and others dots you have to put some integer, but with some inequalities. So you put any, so when you see the triangle like that, like here inequalities x y z, so you have to put this inequality: x should be bigger than y should be bigger than z. So you fill this all real number, so this will be a polytop with all real numbers, so that we call the GT polytop, GT of mu. Okay, and but we are not interested in this polytop all real solution. We want to talk about what is the integer solution. So that is take GT z mu. So p is the GT mu and p is the integer entries. So there is one fact that this GT z mu is exactly uh, bijection with the semi-standard Young tableau, and there is a nice bijection by this diagram. You can see if this is the GT pattern, so there is a, you can just see the bottom one, it will give the shape of this tableau, that is 4421. And entries filling you can just fill by this, you have to take out 431 from here, 4 and 3 and 1, and remaining fill with 4, then take out 3 2 and remaining fill by 3, then take out 2, then remaining fill by 2. Okay, so there is a bijection, you can go back and forth. So in this semi-standard Young tableau, I have given a subset that was I denoted by dim mu w. That is the Dimazur tableau. So corresponding to Dimazur tableau, I take a GT pattern that I am calling that GT Dimazur tableau of mu w. Both are just both are also bijection. So this is the Dimazur tableau I'm giving coming from the semi-standard Young tableau. But there is a way to, you can just directly do in the GT only. So how to do that? So for that you take a GT pattern and you see this northeast edges. So I have just put that straight line, northeast straight line, northeast edges. You label each edges. So the rule of labeling is S1, and this will be the S2, and this is S2, and like this side will be, this is S3, and this is the S4. So this way you label it, where SIs are the simple reflection in SA. Okay, so now take any F that is the subset of northeast edges. So for example, I have taken here few northeast edges. So that is say F. So you take F. So corresponding to F, there is an association that Kogan associated this dual Kogan phase of GT polytop. So what is the dual Kogan phase? That is denoted by K mu F. That is the subset of GT mu. So what is this? You have to take all GT pattern with whenever this edge belong to the F, you have to take with that edges equality. Before there is this type of edge, so there was y should be bigger than or equal to x. But what you have to do, you have to just put now this restriction is you have to put equal. So take that type of all GT pattern, that is called the dual Kogan phase of GT polytop. Okay, and corresponding to phase there is a reading word of also, that is you have to read this label from left to right and top to bottom. For example, if you see here, the reading word of this phase is S4 S3 S3 S4 S1 S2, and you see this reading word is not reduced. S3 S3 can just will be identity. So whenever this word is reduced, you say that that dual Kogan phase is reduced to dual Kogan phase, and you can also say that F is reduced. Okay, so for example, if you take F is the all northeast edges, suppose take everything, so you have to put equal everywhere. So corresponding to that, you have to see the GT pattern correspond to this highest highest, these are the dominant tableau of shape mu. So this is just a singleton. And the reading word will be corresponding to that is the longest one. Okay. And if you take F is empty set, none of that. So that means there is no equality. So that will be the full GT. Okay. And the reading word of this face will be the identity. So now you see that if you take a reading word like suppose S3, S4, so corresponding to S3, S4, there are so many faces will give the same reading word. So for example, I have listed the few edges here. Like you see, you can just put this equal, this will also give the S3, S4. Here, this will also give S3, S4. This will also give S3, S4. So there are so many edges that will give the same permutation, same reduced permutation. So now what I am defining here, fix some permutation sigma. So what is K mu sigma? That is the union over all reduced faces, which the reading word is sigma of dual Kogan phase. Take union of all dual Kogan phase of this. Okay. So if you take sigma is bigger than or equal to T in tau in Bruha order, then this K mu sigma is contained in K mu of tau. Okay. So here is a one small result, this result by Fujita, this recent result. If you take a partition mu and fix a W permutation, then this GT demeasured crystal, this GT mu W is exactly equal to the this K mu W not W. So here I have associated what is K mu sigma. So put here W not W intersection with all integral GT pattern. So you take intersect with this. So that will be exactly equal to the demeasured crystalline GT pattern. So for example, I will listed here. If you take W equal to S1, S2 in N equal to 2. So W not W is S1. So mu take 210. So this is all GT pattern. So that means you have to put these all faces where S1 should be the this equality S1 phase. So you know that this is the first one I have labeled with S1. So this will be the equal everywhere. So you take this all equal. So this collection of GT shape is the GT demeasure for corresponding to this W S1 S2. Okay. So by I will talk about now what is the partial height of shape mu. So partial height is also just like a GT pattern. By GT pattern, going partial height is very easy. In partial height, you have to just include one more this one more side. With here you have these 5 dots, but here you have to put 6 dot in every boundary, each boundary. The labeling will be the if this is the GT pattern, so the labeling will be according to this GT pattern. So what is this labeling? The left side all vertices label by 0, and the right side and bottom you start with mu1 similarly like GT. The next one you have to put mu1 plus mu2, means you have to take a partial sum corresponding to rows. And next one will be mu1 plus mu2 plus mu3, like that you have to take partial sum. So you can also see that you going this two also bijection. Okay, this is called the partial height. And what is this inequalities mean in the partial height? So this is, you know that if so here is a label A32 and A42. So you know A42 will be bigger than A32. So what is this inequality mean in the partial height? So this is the red rhombus, northeast rhombus. Okay. So this is red rhombus. So if this inequality mean that, so you see here, if you take a difference of this red vertices, the rightmost and then upper, so you will get this A32. So suppose this is the red rhombus label with A, B, C, D. So you have to see, you see that D minus C minus B minus A. Okay. So this is bigger than or equal to 0. That's the meaning of this inequality is bigger than or equal to this. A42 is bigger than A32. And if you unwind this, so this will be A plus D minus B plus C. So what is this saying? That the sum of two single A plus D minus sum of acute angle will be bigger than or equal to 0. So that transform in this inequalities. That is called the rhombus inequalities. Similarly, for this green one, this other inequalities, this is also the same rule. Sum of obtuse angle minus sum of acute angle bigger than or equal to 0. So it's a rhombus inequalities. So now I would like to define what is the hive. So for hive, I will take a three partition lambda mu nu such that lambda plus mu equal to nu. So here we have to do little bit different labeling. Like the left side, I have to take a partial sum of lambda. Like before, I was labeling 0, but now it's a 0, lambda 1 plus lambda 2, like that. The partial sum of lambda, and the bottom is you have to add plus lambda plus mod lambda plus mu 1. So just you have to add mod lambda everywhere. The right boundary will be nu1 plus nu1 plus nu2, the partial sum of mu1, and this the last one will be mod mu plus mod nu, that is the mod nu. And the inner vertices you have to fill with some real number with the rhombus inequalities. So two inequalities I have told. This is there are totally three type of rhombus, this red and green and this blue, three type of rhombus. So all three type of rhombus, whenever you see, the labeling should satisfy this inequalities always. Obtuse minus acute will be bigger than or equal to 0. So collect all by fixing all this lambda mu nu, take all the real solution. That will be the polytop, that we call it the hive polytop. So hive or lambda mu nu with boundaries lambda mu nu. So okay, so this is the hive polytop. So if you take all the integer solution in this hive polytop, that will be exactly equal to the little Richardson coefficient, C lambda mu nu. Okay. So by using this hive things, the Knudsen and Tao has proved that saturation conjecture. So I'll just recall what is their main ingredient in the proof. So what they will show that, so if you take a C k lambda k mu is bigger than 0 for some k, okay, then this hive, this integral hive is non-empty. Then with k lambda. So if you take hive HR lambda mu nu, that is equal to the 1 over k. If you divide this hive polytop, if you just scale down 1 over k, then it will be equal to the lambda mu nu corresponding. So this will be the non-empty, because this is non-empty. So first they take the non-empty, this hive polytop, and if you take a lambda mu nu, all this regular, so what the next proposition they use? They use this: if H is the vertex of hive polytop, such that the flat rhombi. So I will define what is the flat rhombi. So flat rhombi of H is non-overlapping. Then what they prove that each vertex, each inner vertex of H are integral linear combination of boundary vertex of H. So if boundaries are all labeled by this k lambda, k mu, k nu. So those are all integer, and the inner vertices are linear combination of these. So that is also divisible by k. So that's how H is this. H belongs to this lambda mu nu also. So that's how they prove the saturation conjecture. So I will just define, say, what is the flat rhombus. So flat rhombus, we say that when we take obtuse minus acute is equal to 0. Here put the restriction equal to 0. Before the rhombus inequalities was bigger than or equal to 0. But if I want to say any rhombus is flat, that means obtuse minus acute will be equal to 0. So for example, here I made a picture. So this is the some flat rhombus. But when I call this flat rhombus is non-overlapping. So when I take any two flat rhombus, there is no overlapping region. So for example, here all I have colored all the flat rhombus, and these are all non-overlapping. Overlapping means here the left side one picture I have just merged this red, upper part of red is merged the left part of this green. So that is overlapping. So this type of situation should not occur. Okay, so if you the flat, that is called the non-overlapping flat rhombi. So these they use this thing. So we also use the same technique, okay, for our purpose. So I will define what is the dual Kogan phase of high polytope. So dual Kogan phase of high polytope. Here, take this. I have defined the dual Kogan phase in GT pattern. The similar definition, I will just convert everything in high. So what was the before? Here, this is the left side. I have denoted that GT pattern. There is some array, triangular array. So there was some F. The collection of north is edges. So you know this north is edges in this GT correspond to the northeast rhombus in this high. So taking equality in this GT pattern will be the flat rhombus in this high polytope. Okay, so
Mrigendra, there's a question by Rekha. How are the
uh,
edges numbered with reflections?
yeah, I just label it with the reflection means say this we label it by reflection because we want to associate uh, word word of a fish. Means you just say label this this is the s1 s2 s3 and you see if these things are equal, so you can associate a word and you can do all this theory. Okay, we are using this label to find out which GT pattern will correspond to the Demazur crystal. So you have to get we have to get the W permutation from there. So this is the way of extracting permutation from this GT pattern. Okay. So this equality, this northeast equalities, northeast edges equality is correspond to this northeast rhombus. Okay, is it first 30-minute over?
Yes. Maybe
Yeah.
we can take some questions if there are any.
I had a question about this condition 312 avoiding. Is this a necessary condition for this theorem?
Yeah, means this is the necessary condition for the way of we are proving. Means for other permutation it is not working whatever we have checked. So this 312 avoiding permutation is working because if you take a Kogan so of that, so that we are putting the W not W. So
But
that
are there examples of non 312 avoiding permutations that still have some saturation?
we are hoping to prove that because I have searched all Sage and everything. I didn't find any counter example. So we are hoping to prove that. That's our like next aim.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
If there are other questions, maybe we can take it later.
Okay. Should I start now or wait?
You can start, Mrigendra.
Okay. So okay. So let's start. So I just telling that how to convert this. What is the this equalities northeast inequalities in GT mean in the Hive? So in Hive it will mean that northeast rhombus is flat. That I have marked with a green. Flat means obtuse minus acute is bigger than or equal to 0. Mean obtuse minus acute equal to 0. So similar like whatever theory done in GT, you can label here northeast rhombus also by S1, S2, that simple reflection, and you can associate a permutation in the similar way. So here also you can define a dual Kogan phase. That is now you have to we are taking lambda mu nu. So because boundary is labeled with lambda mu nu, and if you have a phase F, then take collection of all hive with rhombi in F are flat. Okay, so now obtuse minus acute put the equal to 0. So that will be the subset and that we call the dual Kogan phase. So similar like GT, if you fix any permutation sigma, so we call it KH lambda mu nu sigma is equal to the union of all dual Kogan phase over all union over the reduced phase where a reading word of this phase is equal to sigma. So there is one proposition. It is the conclude by the Fujita result. So I told this result, it is by Fujita. So by this result, you can conclude that if you take all integral solution in this KH lambda mu nu sigma, W naught sigma, put W naught sigma. So all integral solution in this polytope is exactly equal to the refined literalization coefficient. Okay. So now I would like to sketch that proof, our proof, this for sigma equal to 312 avoiding and 231 avoiding. So we do for 312 avoiding, 231 avoiding covered by its inverse. Okay. So if sigma is a 312 avoiding permutation, so there is a small result. If you multiply W naught before W naught sigma, that will be the 132 avoiding permutation. So if you have a 1, 2, 3 avoiding permutation, so corresponding to that, there exists a unique reduced phase that we call it a sigma. So there is no, before I told if you take any permutation, there could be many reduced phase and we are taking the union over that. But here, this is because of this is the special form, 1, 3, 2 avoiding permutation. So if you have 1, 2, 3 avoiding permutation, there exists a unique reduced phase that we call it F sigma, such that the reduced word corresponding to that W naught sigma. Okay. So and not only that, this phase has okay, so I forget to put here F sigma. This F sigma has a special form. So what is this special form? This will come in a special form of this shape. So this will be the left and bottom justified. So if you just color this, so you see that it is the left justified and the bottom justified. Okay, this will be always in this shape, and in between there is no hole. It will be the like if you take a inverted type Young diagram and just tilt that 30-degree. Okay, so this will come always in this shape. So because of this shape only we are able to prove. So that was Arun questions like this is working for 312. So 312. So because of this type of shape, this proof is working. It's left justified and bottom justified. For other permutation, this shape will not come. Okay. So if this is the unique shape, unique phase, so this KH lambda naught W lambda mu nu W naught sigma, that is just a single Kogan phase of high polytope. Now we apply the Knudsen and Tau result. So here is one small notion that what is called the increasable subset of hive. So if you have a hive H in hive polytope and let S is the subset of interior vertices of this hive. So S is called the increasable subset of H if there exists some positive number, positive real number such that you add this epsilon, these vertices, the H, S, like if you take epsilon is the indicator function of S. So you make this one. So if suppose adding this epsilon also, this is the hive satisfying all these three inequalities, rhombus inequalities. If it is also hive, so you say that S is the increasable subset for this H. So there is a small lemma 1. What is this? If sigma is a 312 avoiding permutation and take H is the hive in this Kogan phase. This is a single Kogan phase. If I multiply W naught here, so if S is the any increasable subset of H, so H dash, you can associated this H dash, if you calculate this H dash, this will be also hive, but this hive will not go out of this phase. This will also belong to this phase. Okay, this is happening because of it's a particular shape. Okay, so here I fix a let all lambda mu is vary. So like we associate a polyhedral cone. If you take all lambda mu vary and this hive, so all vertices are labeled real numbers and take all three rhombus inequalities in this lambda mu nu, and this we are putting W naught sigma. That means in this F sigma, this phase, if rhombi occur, northeast rhombi, put that flag. So this will be a polyhedral cone. Okay, and take a one projection from this cone to R3, Rn3. Okay, so what is this projection? I am projecting the boundaries. So if you take a height, and pi h is the boundaries level. So it's a loosely written, like boundaries labels are partial sum of this lambda and mu and nu, but I have written here lambda mu nu, because you take that lambda, lambda 1, lambda 2, just get out from partial sum what is lambda mu nu. So that is the image, that boundaries of H. So Knudsen and Tau have given that you can choose a generic functional from this polyhedral cone functional, such that this so what is this functional? The hive goes to the sum, the summation of CV H HV. What is HV? HV, the label of this vertices V, where CV is the positive number. So you can choose this type of functional such that if you take any lambda mu nu in the image of this projection, then this functional attains its maximal at a unique point of pi inverse lambda mu nu, the inverse image. So see here, this pi inverse, you take an inverse of that, that will be equal to the kh lambda mu nu. That means it's a all high with boundaries lambda mu nu, and satisfying this rhombus are flat whenever it is in F sigma. Okay, and in this phase, it attains a maximal at unique point, this functional. So say that maximal attains at H naught. So this is the fix attains at H naught. Okay, so because of this functional is maximum, this H naught will be the vertex of this phase. Okay, because if you have anything bigger than that, so max this functional can get maximum over that. So this will be the vertex. This was the one condition of this Knudsen and Tau proof. And if you take a lambda mu nu in this image of this pi kh W naught sigma intersection with integral, I am taking now integral, lambda mu nu is integral, and also one more condition, lambda mu nu is regular. Regular means lambda 1 should be strictly bigger than lambda 2, strictly bigger than all that lambda m. Okay, so what is the argument? So by this restriction, lambda mu nu is the integer and this regular, by lemma 1 we know that H naught has no increasable subset, because if H naught belong to this phase, if we have an increasable subset corresponding to of H naught, so this linear functional will be bigger than over that. Okay, but we choose this H naught, at H naught this linear function is maximal, so it shows that H naught has no increasable subset. And here we need this lambda mu nu regular. By taking lambda mu nu regular, Knudsen and Tau has given that this type of hive will have non-overlapping flat rhombis, by if it has no increasable subset and lambda mu nu regular, so it has non-overlapping flat rhombi. So we have both condition, it's a vertex and non-overlapping flat rhombi. So by these two condition, we can conclude that all vertices, inner vertices of H naught are integral linear combination of boundary level. So when it is inner vertices are integral linear combination of boundary level, so that will be the it is the integer solution. H naught belong to the integer Ripalta. Okay, so that's the proof of our sketch of proof of our theorem. And here we took the lambda mu nu regular. So if lambda mu nu is general, so that is followed by some continuity argument and linear functional argument. That is the also the Knudsen and Tau argument, and that can be also applied in our situation. So this is proved in general. This holds in general. And for 2-3-1 avoiding sigma inverse, you know that it will be the 3-1-2 avoiding, and this relation I have. This is the one property. So by this you can conclude the situation for 2-3-1 avoiding permutation also. Okay, thank you. So that was my talk.
Thank you, Meghendra. Are there any questions?
So, Meghendra, in the classical case for the this Littlewood Richardson coefficient, there are other models, na, to count that Littlewood Richardson coefficient.
Yeah, there are other models. Yeah, means you can say that path model.
Okay. No, no other models involving this polytopes, inequalities. Is there any?
Polytop, that I don't know. Means that I know only for like GT and this Kogan phase, all is given for GLN, means this A type.
Mhm.
So
The model using puzzles.
means other for other, I don't know any polytopal model.
No, it's not polytopes, but there's using puzzles.
Okay.
But is there a path model proof of saturation?
Path model proof. Okay. So
Has
we,
anybody given, I mean, conceptually, you can just stretch the paths by a factor of K. But I don't know if anybody has pushed
yeah,
that through.
we tried. Means so there is hard to find out single out the path we can divide by K by just giving that LS path. So means you have to single it out which path you can divide by K.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, so that is hard to find out. Means at least we feel that we look for that, but it's to give a characterization for that, it's difficult. Which path you can divide by K. So the in LS term, the formula will be the same. The list of permutation and the list of rationals for lower and higher also, means for lambda and K lambda also the similar. Means that will not depend on the K lambda or means you can just for whatever the formula for lambda, that will also work for the K lambda in terms of LS path you write. But the reverse coming back, which path exactly correspond to the lower one, that is
No, you're right. That's exactly the issue. I see.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
difficult. I don't know.
Are there any other questions? Okay, if not, let's thank the speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you.